Hi, this is my video on the BlitzWolf selfie stick, and this is a waterproof selfie stick stroke handheld monopod. Now it's for action cameras. Now this is a mini extendable aluminium selfie stick for action cameras, 360 video cameras, DSLR cameras, and also mirrorless cameras. Now this is a very compact selfie stick, so I'll go around the box first to show you. We have here, this is the model number, it's the BW. Now just in case you're wondering what BW stands for, it's the BlitzWolf BS0, and as you can see it's from BlitzWolf. And under here we have, well, we've got the typical Amazon sticker, but if that wasn't there, it comes with its own barcode of the BlitzWolf BW-BS0 selfie stick. And we have a QR code to show you what else, if you scan that, it shows you what else BlitzWolf sells. Now underneath, on the back, we have BlitzWolf, the same again for the model number, selfie stick, same again what's written, the model number. Now the length, it extends out to 712 millimeters, and I'll try and get that in focus, and the minimum length is 189 millimeters. Now maximum load this selfie stick can take is 500 grams, and the weight of the selfie stick is 161.4 grams. Now on the back here we just have a little bit of writing, and I cannot get that in for love nor money, and that's what's around on the box. Now in the box here we get a user manual from BlitzWolf, just a small little leaflet. We get a caution manual, it's caution manual, and if you're sad with the product or if you're happy with the product. So we get one of them with that, and a warning, what not to do with this, and etc. So you get one of them. You get, which I would say at the present moment is one of the best thumb screws, next to the Joby thumb screw I've ever come across. Now this one is absolutely made out of aluminium. There is a little bit of weight to it, I'll give it that. There is a little bit of weight to this thing, but it's nicely done. It's actually ergonomic, and I'd say it's better than a GoPro thumb screw. So that's good on BlitzWolf for this nice thumb screw. And then we get this plastic GoPro tripod mount, and it is plastic, it's not metal as you can see, and this is your standard generic GoPro tripod mount. And now we come to the actual selfie stick itself, or pole, or action pole if you want to call it that. And this thing does feel absolutely premium considering its price. I'm actually in love with this because I just like it. I like the actual, even though let's go around it first because I'll be waffling on. First of all, here the main handle here is made out of rubber, and it's smooth, but it's the type of rubber that, you know, when you sweat it still gives you grip, so I'll give it that. It has the words BlitzWolf written on the bottom here, and I'll try and get that in focus for you. BlitzWolf written on the bottom, and we got a lanyard. Now when it comes to the lanyard, we can screw that lanyard off like so, revealing a 1/4 inch thread on the bottom. So you can put this onto small tabletop tripods or even main tripods, so that's brilliant. I like that. Now the rest of it seems to be made out of metal, aluminium. We have At the top here, this is all made out of metal. Absolutely all of it. The only place that isn't made out of metal is this rubber padding on here on this ball head. And we have a little drawing across the bottom of the ball head showing a lock sign all the way through to a unlock sign here, which is great, and that's for when you extend the pole, so I like that, and even with a little arrow. Then we have, I like this kind of thumb screw that we got here, as in it's a lever, not an actual screw, so all it requires is just a turn down, that's it, a quarter of a turn, and that loosens the ball head up there, so you can get this kind of basically 90-degree angle from there. Now obviously you can swivel it around and turn that around, but to lock it back up, it's just, I like this, you just simply flip that up and that locks it back up, and that's made out of metal. Now here's part of the video where I tell you about the actual length of the selfie stick. Now even though it's quoted, I quoted you earlier about the length of the selfie stick, as I always say in my videos, manufacturers, when they quote you the length, it's from the bottom of the selfie stick or action pole to the top, whatever you're mounting it on. That's what they're classifying as the length. I don't do that in my videos. What I tend to do is, to me, the true length of any selfie stick or action pole is from the bottom of the mount to the top of the handle, because you're losing inches when you hold the selfie stick, so you're losing inches there, and having that item, whatever item you have on the top, you're losing there as well. It's not really the actual length. So this is the actual length there, and between these two spots here, these 2 points, it extends to 21 inches, which isn't too bad. It's not too bad. It's kind of the, I would say, the middle of the road, especially when it comes to, even though they classify this as a selfie stick and you can put a GoPro camera on there, or action camera, for an action pole, it's middle of the road length. Now, the actual shaft, I'll just turn this back in. The actual shaft here is made out of aluminium, and we have a seam at the front all the way down, and we have a seam at the back all the way down. So that's good for strength, and that helps to keep it straight and rigid. So that's very, very good, especially when you've got something like a DSLR or a mirrorless camera on there, something with a bit of weight to it. It's to keep it rigid, so that's very good from BlitzWolf, and it's very good from any manufacturer that does that. The thing what I found I do not like with this selfie stick stroke action pole is the actual segments. Now this splits up into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 segments, and each segment, and it's hard to get it on the camera but I'll try my best, each segment, as you can see, I've got these plastic accents or rings around there, and that's for when you're tightening up, they lock into place with them there. Now this would have been good if they made it the same color as the stick itself. It would have gave it a more of a stealth look and gave it more of a premium look to it. You know, it makes it, looks like it costs far more than what you paid for it. So don't get me wrong, it is a good selfie stick stroke action pole, very good, feels good in the hand, but they could have just went that extra bit of step and made these rings here in the same color as the actual pole to give it a more of a premium look. Now this pole is, they use on this pole is a technique to extend the pole is similar to other poles, whereby it uses, I just have to tighten that, sorry about that folks, just have to tighten that at the top. It uses a twist motion to lock each segment into place. So it's an anti-clockwise twist to loosen it, and then it's a clockwise twist, what I just done there, to lock it into place. So clockwise to lock it, anti-clockwise to loosen it. Now let's go over the actual top here. Straighten this camera up. Let me just straighten the camera up. There, we got the camera straight. Now at the top of this, we have a ball head, and this ball head is made out of metal. And as I said before earlier on in the video, I like how it's got this lever system here, because it only requires not a continuous turn to lock it in. It just requires just a turn down to unlock it. So if I press that down, that now is unlocked, and I can swivel the camera around any way I want and angle it any way I want. And then when I want to lock it into place, it's just simple push up, and now that is locked into place. I know it's a bit twisty at the top because I haven't really, if I tighten it a bit more, that's it. And now that's locked into place and cannot move. And that's what I like. That's nice, simple, easy to use. Anybody can do it, and you don't have to have tremendous amount of strength. Now, it says it's suitable for 360 cameras. So as you can see, I've got my GoPro Hero 7 on there. Now it's suitable for action cameras, which is quite good. Now, just before I put the 360 camera on, if you've got a Yi camera or a SJ cam or any other of the Japanese or Chinese cameras, action cameras, most of them come with a built-in female 1/4 inch thread, so you don't need the GoPro mount on there. But if you do need it, you need to make sure that you've got the appropriate mount to fit on this GoPro end here. Now, as I says, you might not need it at all because them cameras come with a 1/4 inch female thread, so you can just screw it straight to the platform of this ball head. But if you haven't, you need to get a appropriate GoPro case or mount to mount to your camera, to mount it to here. Now, this is how it looks with an action camera on there. Now, this is the 360 One X. Now, if you're going to use the 360 One X on this particular selfie stick, now I'm going to bring it close to the camera. Be aware of the platform here on either side. Now, these lenses, as you can see, bulge out, and it will pick up this platform. Now, it will come up as a slight black mark as you turn the picture to face down towards you or whatever, or to look back at you. You'd see a slight black mark because, as you can see, the platform is slightly wider than the camera. Now, this little, I'd say, lever here, that's great because that is literally in line, and I'll try and do my best, is literally in line with the GoPro, with the Insta360 One X side of the body of the camera, so that this would be invisible. I'll tell you that now, that's going to be invisible because it's in line with the camera, but the platform may show up in your camera. Now, that's if you're using the Insta360 One X camera. Now, if you're using the 360 One camera or the GoPro Max. Now, at the moment, I have not got the GoPro Max, but I have a friend who's got one, and we compared the actual, just for my selfie stick videos on my YouTube channel, I've compared the actual thickness of that camera to the One. It's a little bit thinner, just a little bit thinner than the Insta360 One. So if you've got the GoPro Max or the Insta360 One, you will not see this platform. It covers the platform. Even the GoPro Max, we've tried it and looked on there, and it does not show this platform. This platform is invisible. And also with the GoPro Max, because this lever is really small, this does not show up in there. So if you're using the GoPro Max with this particular selfie stick, you will not see this. This will be invisible, the platform and the lever will be invisible. Now, With the Insta360 One, it just about see that now. I mean, it's a thin little black line that you'd see, that we saw on the video. It's just a very thin black line. Tell you the truth, unless you're really looking for it, it would be hard to spot. So the average person on the street who would be seeing that video will not really notice that line because it's very thin. So I have to say, BlitzWolf, you have thought about it with 360 cameras on this particular selfie stick, because that is the right size. That is literally the right size for any 360 camera to be on this particular ball head. Now, with a phone mount, now this is a Ulanzi phone mount, which is made out of metal, and it has a cold shoe on the top. Now, if you want to mount your phone on this selfie stick, you have to get a mount. Now, you don't have to get this particular Ulanzi one. You can get other ones which are, because this one uses a screw to lock down the phone at the back here. You can get spring mounted ones, but if you're going to use your phone on there, you have to get one of these. Now, once you do get one of these, obviously it will have a 1/4 inch thread at the bottom. So you screw it onto the platform here, and make sure that you have this section of the ball head facing you. And that is because if you want to aim your phone at you, and even your GoPro, not the 360 cameras, but even your action cameras, you can obviously turn it, lock it at the angle, and now you got your angle that you want to look. Now, the only thing being, when you're going to use your phone, you're going to have to buy one of these. Now, this is a generic shutter button remote. You're going to have to buy one of these if you're going to use your phone on this selfie stick, because BlitzWolf does not give you one of these, and this selfie stick does not have a shutter button built in. It's just a simple, basically this is just a simple action pole. Even though they call it a selfie stick, it's basically an action pole. So you need to get one of these. Now, you can pick these up from eBay and Amazon. Amazon will be around about £4 upwards. eBay will probably be £4 below that. So £4 upwards on Amazon, £4 and less on eBay for one of these generic shutter buttons. And you need that to link that in with your phone so you can operate taking photographs or videos with your phone. Otherwise, you're going to have to keep lowering the phone, tapping it if you want a video to video out. And as for taking pictures, the moment you bring that up to take a picture, it's going to include your hand in there. So you need one of these. Now, this is my 2p worth on the BlitzWolf BW-BS0. Now, they claim this is a selfie stick. To me, this is more like a compact action pole. Now, they do say it's waterproof. Now, bear this in mind, it is waterproof. I have tested it, but it does not float. So bear it in mind. Now, even if you've got one of them floaty cases for your GoPro, which are normally in orange, which surrounds the GoPro in this kind of sponge, it will still not float with this pole because it will drag it down. Well, it will pull it down because the pole is still heavier than the camera and that floaty. So be aware of that if you're going to be around water with this, especially things like rivers or the sea. Make sure you have this lanyard tight and fixed around your wrist, because it's not floatable at all, even with that surround on. So be aware of that. Now, I'm just going to say a couple of the positive things which I like about this, which is very good. I like the build quality of this. This is built, considering that it's only for the price what they're selling it for. Personally, this could have been sold double the price and you wouldn't be absolutely disappointed with it. It's nice, compact, it feels like quality, it feels more than what they're saying, what they want in price for this, what Amazon is selling it, so I'm telling you that now. I like how they've used absolutely the minimum amount of plastic on there, actually no plastic apart from the rings that are on the divider of each section. That is it, and the little bit of rubber up here, even down to the lanyard what goes into the base, that screw is made of metal. So that's one thing I like. A couple of things I like the little diagram what they show here, how to fasten the pole itself to lock it in. That's good. I like that. I like the thought that's gone into using that small lever there instead of a big actual screw or a thumb screw or anything like that. They just use a little lever. So when you're doing 360 shots or 360 videos, other than the Insta360 one, which you have to be aware of, but with your Maxes and your Insta360 One camera and probably any other apart from the Yi 360 camera, you won't see this platform. They tried to make the platform as small as possible. Now, there is a workaround that you could take the platform off, because the platform does screw off and leaving with the screw thread, but you got to be aware, because you've removed the platform, you've got an extra couple of millimeters and you could bore through your camera like that, so I wouldn't bother. If anything, if you're going to take 360 photographs, just use an app just to remove that and you'll be all right. But that's only if you're using the Insta360 One X. Other than that, any other ones, 360 cameras, you should be all right with this. Now, as for the negatives, I only have 2 negatives, and they're very small negatives. They're not that small really. One, it's the handle. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the handle, like the rubber. The only thing that they could have done was put a kind of texture on the handle, like a dimpling effect or a mesh effect on the handle, would have gave it more grip, but the rubber is still good on this handle. So that's one negative. And the other negative has to be is the color of these rings. They should have just made them black. If you've gone all the way of making this literally 99% metal in this, you could have gone for the 2% and just made this black in color, so the whole selfie stick when extended looks more of a stealth looking, more premium looking. It would have been brilliant. That would have been absolutely one of the best compact poles that you can get. But other than that, as I said, they're only just them 2 negatives, but other than that, if you're looking for a selfie, what they call a selfie stick, or an action pole, especially a compact action pole, you cannot go wrong with this. So it's money well spent, and if you're looking for something to go on holiday with and to last on holiday and to last when you come back for other trips, this is a good pole to get. Now, if you've got this particular selfie stick stroke action pole, please leave a note down in the comments what you thought about it, because your opinion may be different to my opinion. So we'd like to hear about it. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you don't like this video, give it a thumbs down. I totally understand. Thanks for watching, and oh yes, please subscribe to my channel.